Hello, Guardians. Let's get this stream off right. Oh, and we got the old wise up in his ass. All right, all right. I'll let you come in. Hang on. There you go. Jay!
Alright, sorry about that.
What's good, man?
It was good.
Ugh. I'm just trying to get everything set up for tonight's stream.
Yeah, well, apart from me having COVID, nothing much.
Oh,
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, kind of been dealing with it.
Right. Well, I hope you get to feeling better here soon.
Oh, I hope so. I hope to get better before Witch Queen drops.
Yeah. Well, you got a month. A little over a month, so you should be good till then.
Right now, I'm just playing Animal Crossing.
Oh, nice. No Destiny tonight, though? No Destiny tonight, though?
I can, actually. I don't have my PS4 console plugged in right now. I don't even know where it is.
Well, damn.
Yeah. That's why I haven't been on.
Oh, yeah, because you're, I think you were telling me about it the other night.
Yeah. Kind of sucks, but, you know, just whatever. It is what it is.
Right. No, that's not it.
What?
Going on here? Oh, I'm just trying to get the straight or this damn thumbnail and shit set up. Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get the thumbnail. I didn't really have much of a topic for tonight, so
Haven't really thought of anything.
well, I did a lot of lore diving all day today.
Yeah.
So, like, I actually, while I was at work, I listened in on My Name is Bife on the Book of Sorrow.
Yeah.
And, man, like, after listening to that, it's like I have a whole nother perspective on Hive.
Yeah.
You know, like, when it's crazy. And then I started watching a lot of the stuff that deals with, you know, what's coming up with the Witch Queen and everything. And I have a theory. I'm not the only one that thinks of it. I don't think. I'm pretty sure. But I can't confirm it in any kind of way besides it actually makes sense. And
Yeah.
obviously it's not my idea, but on how the Hive or Savathun ends up taking the light.
Yeah.
And instead of doing it by force, like Gull tried to do, aka Gary.
Yeah.
She goes about it a different way. So it's either one or the two. It's either she finds a way to steal it, or it's given to her.
I feel like it's given to her because since we already have the darkness, it kind of feels like the light could be leaving us behind, so to speak.
Kind of like the Traveler did with a bunch of the others.
Yeah, like how the Traveler did with the Fallen, and you know,
Right.
how they called it the Great Queen. and how they made it a whole storyline, how like the light abandoned them, aka Beyond Light. They could tie those two together, Witch Queen and Beyond Light, by just doing that. Like, hey, the light is leaving us, Guardian. It is not as strong as it was before. Before the Red War, before, you know.
Well, also, I was also thinking on if she was trying to steal it, because apparently, who was it? Apparently she was trying to get dead ghosts, but Crota's son, not Crota's son, Oryx's son, that he banished because he was practicing necromancy. And in the hive culture, or in their culture, bringing back the dead is like basically a sin. And
yeah, like not a thing that's allowed, basically.
Yeah, it's basically taboo. And there's not a whole lot on him, but at the same time, Savathun basically gets him to work for her, and she probably, that's how she obtains the light, is by through the ghosts, dead ghosts, and she has Oryx's banished son to use necromancy in order to revive those ghosts.
Yeah,
maybe, I don't know, but it makes sense. So that could be an option.
Yeah, that actually could be.
All right, let me just get this finished up here.
Let's get the stream on the way today. You got the Great Wise.
Yeah. The Great Wise as always. I'm gonna put
We'll even stop playing Animal Crossing, bro.
Yeah, so you can focus. Yeah.
So I can focus on the conversation, bro.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. I'm almost there. I got to talking, so that was my kind of my downfall there. Okay. I think I'm all set up now at this point. All right. Okay. Whew. All right, let me go ahead and switch screens here so that everybody can see your beautifulness and all its wise glory. But anyways, so yeah, I was basically studying up, I guess you could say, on a bunch of lore all day today. That's not normally what I usually do. I usually listen to all kinds of bullshit that just irritates me or whatever. I don't know why, but it's entertainment, I guess. But anyways, I decided to all day listen to everything hive related,
just to get yourself mentally prepared.
Yes. And to kind of maybe make some kind of idea what's going to come in Witch Queen. Now, I also listened into the I guess it was a segment of the podcast where they talked about, for My Name is Bife, and I can't remember his name, but they were talking about Witch Queen and making their little predictions and stuff. And some of the things that they were saying, I can't remember. I think they were making the predictions, but I think it was before they shown the throne world, because everybody was trying to speculate the forest area and shit like that, and trying to figure out if they, like, if it was going to be like Chicago, Io, or not Io, but maybe Venus might be coming back. But I do think, I am a firm believer at this point, that the throne world is actually going to be a destination and not another dungeon or something to that effect. I think it's actually going to be an area that you can actually go to
I feel like
and
if
explore.
I feel like if they're gonna bring a planet back and they're gonna take away the Tangled Shore, like they're basically gonna. That is the thing, that whenever Witch King comes out, the Tangled Shore is basically gone, and they're gonna bring a planet back, or they're gonna add a new planet, which means that the new planet and or the brought back planet is gonna be the Hive's main base of operations now, and it's also gonna be a hub, basically.
Right.
It's gonna be like kind of how Beyond Light did with Varix and the Exo Stranger and Beyond.
Maybe.
Like there's gonna be like a central hub basically in the area, and from that central hub you can head out in different directions to fight enemies.
Right.
At least I feel.
I'm actually really looking forward to it. So that's I'm actually also interested. Someone pointed this out. I can't remember who it was, but throughout the trailer for the Throne World, someone pointed out, is Savathun fighting us, or is she fighting something else? Because besides the obvious, like, typical thrall that was coming after us, where the Titan pops the bubble and Warlock drops the well and the Hunter pops Golden Gun, which I don't understand why you would pop Golden Gun. I would prefer Tether. You know, if you got all those thrall coming at you, I'm popping a Tether on your ass. But
yeah.
But that being said, besides that scene, any other scene you really don't see. Well, I guess like we do fight some of the
in the bridge scene.
Yeah, well, that was against the Scorn. But we were fighting some of her Hive Guardians. And now last night during the stream, we were speculating is the Hive Guardians going to be a lot like another enemy like the Champions, or is it going to be a lot like the Barons? And then today, after,
could it be like in the Moon where like you have the little champion fight, that Crota fight? Or it could be like that as well, where you have to get like taking knights, take their swords. I mean, it might be a little repetitive mechanic, but you could change it up. Like, oh hey, just because you have the freaking knight doesn't mean you have, a free damage phase.
Right.
Like they can make it like a puzzle where you have to use a sword.
Right.
And then you get the boss fight or the damage phase, kind of like in the fucking dungeon. The tower dungeon.
The dungeon. Well, I think another point was made out is that we also don't know anything about Savathun's children.
Yeah.
Because she did have the offspring. So what if these Hive Guardians are actually just her children? So we're looking at kind of like maybe another Baron method, that like what we've seen in Forsaken.
Yeah,
they're actually going to be like would have to fight them.
and eventually we get to fight Sabathun.
Right. But
So
also
it could be like a Guardian of Salvation type of deal, basically.
maybe.
In the stages we fight different different children, basically, is what I meant.
Right.
Exactly like Guardian of Salvation, and I mean like you get to fight different children of her.
Yes.
And you eventually lead up to Sabathun.
Maybe. But I don't think we're going to be killing off Sabathun in this season. Because one of the reasons why I say that is because while I was listening into everything about the Book of Sorrows, they were talking about a lot about the final shape. And the last DLC that we know we're going to get is the final shape. We don't know what comes after that, but we know that one of them is going to be the final shape. Or the last one that we know of. So, is Sabathun, are we going to kill her this season or maybe next season? Maybe,
or what Bungie could do as well right now is, instead of letting us fight Sabathun in this DLC, Witch Queen DLC, they could tease it by us killing her children and her getting mad at us, and in turn, making her fight us in the next DLC. They could set it up like that. Or during each DLC, consequent DLC, we kill off one of her children.
Or whoever makes a surprise appearance, maybe.
Yeah.
And another thing, I would like to talk to somebody that is, that's really deep into the lore. I know we're talking like, how we're supposed to get like all these different subclasses, these new dark subclasses. What if the next one or the final one that we get, because I'm assuming we're going to have 3. One is going to be sword logic.
Sword logic?
Yes.
Or I just thought of this.
Because like everybody calls it corruption, that what we would obtain, but what if it's actually sword logic instead of, the corruption?
You mentioning that just gave me an idea. What if, the weapon, right? The modular weapon? What if it gets added to our darkness tree and it's just a darkness thing?
Elaborate a little bit.
Okay. What I meant, since Bungie did technically say that at least this season we're not going to get any new
dark supers.
Trees.
Yeah, they're going to be spending this season revamping our light subclasses.
Yeah. So what if with the modular weapon it gets added to one of our subclasses, light subclasses or dark subclass? So we don't get added a new tree, we just get added a new, so to speak, thing.
Kind of like how we got Blade Barrage and like middle tree, like all the middle tree supers.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Yeah, but for the weapon. And it could be like a roaming super, kind of.
With
Although
a weapon.
I doubt that.
Ooh.
Because since it's a modular weapon, it can be a melee weapon and, a shoot weapon, to put it in mild terms.
Well, that's kind of like what the glaive is going to be.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about this whole time. Like, what if it gets added to one of our trees? And it's something that we can use specifically on that tree.
I don't know.
Like, it replaces one of our... It adds a new tree with the revamp.
Right.
And you could have different modular weapons, different glaives, basically on each tree, so that it fits your playstyle on that specific tree.
I don't know. That would be interesting to see if that's
Yeah,
how
and
they want to go about it.
And it could be like in D1 where you actually had to spend points or like, actually upgrade your tree. And, it was a modular thing. Like you could choose different upgrades from different trees and put them on at the same time. But you just couldn't have the same type of upgrade on at the same time. But you could have different trees at the same time. Instead of like how in D2 is now, where you just have a specific preset.
Right.
And you have to work around that. You can't, customize it. You can't make it your own.
Well, we might not be able to do that right away, but it could be something that gets added later on down the line.
Yeah.
Because it almost sounds like with like people are speculating when it comes to like the newer supers, they're bringing it back like a lot of the stuff that we've seen like in D1.
Yeah, like they're bringing a lot of stuff back from D1 actually.
It's almost like they're bringing it back, but also revamping that as well to go with the current system.
Yeah, go with the current atmosphere and the current meta of D2.
Right. Well,
for example, the Gallahorn.
Did you happen to get a glance at the damn TWAB yesterday?
No, actually, I couldn't because yesterday I was actually really freaking sick.
Oh shit. Okay, I'll try to give you like a speed run of what changes are going to be coming up. They touched on your artifact, which basically throughout the season you're going to be able to unlock all the mods instead of just picking and choosing which ones. You will actually be able to unlock all 25. And then for the armor pieces, if you want to let's say like you get a fully masterwork, you get your armor piece fully masterwork, but you need to change the elements like from solar to arc or whatever. They're actually going to make it cheaper. So for legendary, it's only going to cost you 10,000 glimmer and 1 upgrade module. And then for an exotic, in order to do that, it's only going to cost you 20,000 glimmer and 1 upgrade module. And you'll be able to do that with all the upgraded, fully masterwork armor pieces. And then
I was kind of expecting them to do something similar, but instead of upgrade modules, I was kind of expecting enhancement prisms.
No, they're actually making it really cheap, and which I think it's really good. They already made it where it costs you nothing to change out your mods, where you can actually swap around your mods, but they're also going to hit up with the elements of your armor pieces. And then another thing that they touched on was Orbs of Power. Basically, they're going to make it where you no longer have to fully masterwork your weapon in order to get it to create Orbs of Power for you. And what they're going to do is they're going to set up a mod. It's a mod system that's going to be placed on your helmet, and then you just add that to there. So if you need kinetic, it'll make kinetic, solar, arc, whatever. It'll cover those weapons, including exotics. So all the weapons.
I will miss the good old days just playing the Risk Runner and just like getting a large horde of enemy that had like arc attacks. For example, a large group of fallen.
Yeah.
And just shooting and just getting infinite orbs of power. I will miss that.
Well, like almost like on the moon when you did the protocol. Like whenever you activated the protocol.
Yeah.
Remember doing that? I used to run Risk Runner in there all the damn time.
And just get infinite orbs of power and just infinite health.
it was stupid. And I think that was back when, before they nerfed Orpheus rigs, so that basically you were getting I was getting like my super back after tethering 2 or 3 ads and to get my super back over and over and over again. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was like that was the OG, like
those were the
Shards
good
of
old
Galaxy.
days right there.
That was like the OG gauntlets for the Blade Storm on the
Yeah.
Hunter.
Yeah.
That was like the OG version of it, but it worked on every class.
Right.
Wrist Runner is the OG, like Phoenix Protocol and Shards of Galadorn.
I would agree, yes.
And it's still pretty good now. It's still really good now.
Well, I also, let's see, I think those were like, it was a really light TWAB this week. But next week there's supposed to be,
Yeah,
we're
I
going
was
to be talking
scrolling
about
through
weapon
YouTube today.
crafting and a few other things. So,
I was actually scrolling through YouTube today, and you know those little like memes on the YouTube homepage that you get,
yeah.
and it's like, yeah, you know, Orbs of Power, they're a mod now. Bungie and the Destiny players, you what?
Well, we talked about this last night. All right. And I would agree that if you implemented that exactly by adding it as a mod in the current sandbox system that we have right now, yes, it would be terrible. However, Bungie did state that while everybody was slide nerfing crazy, oh my god, sky is falling mode, they did, a bunch of the Bungie employees were basically saying, hey, there's more to come. You don't know the whole story yet, so relax. But we're supposed to I think we're going to find out some more next week. If not, it will be after. But they are going to be, I'm really excited to see what they're going to be implementing. Weapon crafting. And I think that's going to be the biggest talking point.
Yeah, like the whole.
Everybody's going to lose their shit over that because there are rumors going around saying that Bungie is going to monetize weapon crafting in some sort of way.
It's probably like they're gonna do the mods that they know people are gonna fucking use a lot. For example, Vorpal weapon or.
I don't think it's going to be that complicated. I think it would be, if I was to guess, I would think that Bungie would set it up to where the only way that you can interact with the crafting table would be if you own Witch Queen
Deluxe edition.
No. It wouldn't be the deluxe edition. It would just be the current DLC, just like how they did with the Trials.
Trials of Osiris.
Yes, they have it set up now that the only way you could participate in Trials is if you own Beyond Light.
And eventually Witch Queen.
And eventually Witch Queen, yes. So if you're a free-to-play player and if you haven't dropped any money yet or anything, you're still trying to decide, you cannot just you cannot play Trials right now.
Basically, is what you're trying to say.
Yes. But at the same time, it has helped out a lot on cheaters. Because instead of just making a new account, re-download Destiny on a completely different account, and then hop back into Trials like everything is all hunky-dory, now you actually have to re-buy the DLC.
And that's going to be $108 with Witch Queen right now.
Now, it's like, if you want to get just the DLC, I think it's like, what, $60 maybe, 40, $60, whatever the cost.
No, but I mean, like,
but that's if you only buy the DLC.
Yeah, if you have
and
to
not
buy
the
latest
seasons.
But do you have the latest? Do you have to have the latest DLC, or do you have to have all the DLC?
The latest.
Okay.
So like, let's say you didn't buy Beyond Light. Like you were like, no, but you're like, I really want to try Witch Queen, and you buy Witch Queen, then yes, you will be able to participate in trials.
Also, I wonder what they're gonna do with stasis, like on the actual Witch Queen DLC, because I know that sure they're revamping the light and they're working more on light, on the light skill trees, but
I don't know.
they have this interesting mechanic with the stasis subclasses, and they're not just gonna just leave it behind basically on Witch Queen. They're not gonna do anything with it. They're not gonna have like, oh, if you do certain things with a stasis subclass equipped, you could get a certain, extra thing because we're not working on stasis right now. And it's kind of like our way of saying, hey, sorry for not working on stasis. Have this little extra tidbit. Well, everybody is still kind of hyped about, or is still trying to figure out the light subclasses.
Right.
The revamps, basically.
Well, I'm pretty sure
'Cause
everybody's going to be mostly focused on, Void subclass majority of the time.
Yeah,
like
but
you
you
probably
also
like
know,
at first, I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to be.
yeah, but you also know that there's always gonna be those few players that are just like, I'm sticking with this subclass.
Well, yeah. I mean, you get
That's
like
definitely gonna be me.
right. Like I mean, like I've always been big on tether. Like that's always been my favorite super in the game. And I'll be really interested in seeing how they make some changes to that. And at the same time, I mean, I'll maybe move around. I mean, right now I've been messing around with a lot of stasis, but I know come next the next DLC, Witch Queen, I know I'm going to be probably beyond Void the most of the time to see how they like what did they add and what kind of changes they made. Because I think one of them was the hunter is going to be able to shoot out a tether that's like 3 bolts, and they tether. It's going to be like basically a regular tether, but you get three in one shot.
Another thing that I think they could do with the subclasses, with the light subclasses,
What's that?
is that they make each and every tree their own unique type of super.
Right.
Because you know that the top and bottom tree are basically the same super, just different variations, and the middle tree is a completely different super. So what if they make the bottom or the top tree, depending on which one, users use more or use less? For example, which tether you use the most when you use Void? Top tree or bottom tree?
Top tree.
But they could change bottom tree to where it's a completely different super. It could
or
be
they could actually change it all together. Like we're not going to see the 3 trees like what we see now. Like we're probably going to be seeing it as a lot like how you see stasis.
Oh, really?
They might have it built the same way as stasis.
Yeah,
where you'll have to go for like aspects, and it's going to be able to do different things, and you can actually change it the way that you see fit that fits your playstyle.
Yeah, but at the same time, what are they going to do with the middle trees and shit? Are they just going to have those supers readily available as well?
I don't know. You can
change between the super, or are you just going to be stuck with one tether for example, or the golden gun instead of the blade storm, or the dawn blade instead of this well?
Well, what's there to say that we don't see like all three trees? Let's say take void tether, or you get spectral blades. You get top tree or bottom tree tether or spectral blades in the middle. Maybe all three get revamped the same way as stasis did, or how stasis was implemented. So you're going to actually have those things to change. Who knows? Like,
Yeah, but
we'll have fragments and aspects.
If they're gonna make it like how stasis is, they might as well make it so that you can change between supers willingly and still have the same quote-unquote build on it as you had with another super if you already like your current build.
Right.
So if they're gonna simplify it to the point where stasis is right now, they might as well simplify it completely and go all the way with it.
It's
like
possible.
It's just click, click, click. Like it's just click, click, and done.
Right.
And it would also.
I mean, all this is basically speculation until we actually see it in our hands. You know, that's.
Yeah.
You know,
it's all just our imagination until we actually get the play.
Yeah, right. That's all this is, just imagination. And if you're watching this right now, feel free to chat it up in chat. You know, I'll interact with you as well. You know, I don't just interact with who I'm talking to at the current moment. You know, I can do both. So, let's see. So we talked a little bit about TWAB, that you missed out because you're
the
sick.
light rework.
Yeah, the light rework. A little bit of the lore.
Basically covered all bases right at this point.
almost. It's just I kind of wonder what they're gonna bring for like the next season, because we're gonna get the same, like literally day one of Witch Queen. We're also going to have a season on that same day, and I still haven't heard anything really about a raid yet.
I
think like we're speculating that they are bringing a raid, but I don't know.
I feel like they're either just gonna keep Vogue, or they're probably gonna bring back a D1 raid.
Well, I think that's what it is. If I remember correctly, I think they were talking about, or they were hinting at, bringing back another D1 raid. Maybe.
Because you also got to remember that not everybody who's playing D2 played D1, or if they did, not everybody had access to the DLCs because not everybody had the money at the time.
Well, if you really want, if they really wanted to, they could go all out. Let's just say you get Final Shape or something and just bring everything over from D1 and put it into D2, change the name to just Destiny, and let's just carry on forward after that. Let's just call it Destiny and then let's go. I mean, that would be kind of cool if they did that. That's my opinion, as by the way.
Yeah, and it could be like different versions of Destiny, like, oh, there's OG Destiny 1.1, like version 1.0 basically, let's call it that. And this was where we started at. Look at how different it is from where we are and Destiny 2.0.
Right.
Like, look at all the improvements, look at all the changes, and look at all the graphical like wonders that they've done.
Well, if you compare it to like day one of Destiny 2 and you look at it now, there's no way you could say it's the same game.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't even hear it till after like Warmind and Curse of Osiris dropped. Like, they were on sale when I first came in.
I was here when D2 just came out.
Yeah, so
like, I was day one on D2 and D1.
Yeah, and even then, like, I'll look at screenshots from when I first started playing this game. It's like, oh my god, it's almost like a whole new game now at this point. because it just doesn't seem the same anymore. And I know next season or the next DLC is going to be crazy.
Yeah. Plus, if you look at D2 and D1, like last day D1 and first day D2,
Right.
so to speak, they're more or less the same. Like, they're really similar. Just, graphical updates and, actual difference a little bit in gameplay and UI.
Right.
But
yeah.
D2, back in day 1, day 0, was completely different. And it was so weird. Because back when D2 actually came out, at least the first time I got my hands on it, because I don't think I bought it. I think I got it when it became free. And I got it on my old account, the Undead Giant. And I had played D1 in that account. So I passed over my character, and it felt so weird seeing him again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because I hadn't played D1 for 4 years at that point. Question mark?
Wait, is that still a thing?
What?
Like transferring your D1 character to D2?
Yeah, that's still a thing.
How the hell do you do that?
You had to play D1 first.
I already did.
Did you transfer your character to D2?
No.
It should say as soon as you download the game for the first time ever, it should say, "Oh, you have D1 save data on your PS4. Would you like to transfer your character to D2?" It's just your character, nothing else transfers. You start off as a new light in D2.
Right. No, I didn't. No, this is how I remember now. I played D1 on my PS3. I don't know if that makes any difference, but I originally played D1 on my PS3. And wait. I remember now. I played D1 on my PS3, and then, obviously, I went to when I went ahead and rebought the game and put it on my PS4 because I went ahead and just bought a disc version, and that's where I bought. I noticed I still had a Guardian there.
Yeah,
that's what happened. Like, I still had my Guardian, but I never got the option, and it was on this account, like my main account that I play on, or my only account that I play Destiny on, that I played D1 and on my PS3. So I'm thinking, okay, like I don't know if there's really still a way that I could transfer my character from D1 into D2, because even if I don't even play him, I would just be like, I'll just keep him like showcase. But like, yeah, this is my D1 character. I'm not touching him. I want him to stay the way he is.
Because like, the thing is, back in those days where I first transferred my character, it was when the story was basically, hey, we're still in the original tower, but it's getting destroyed. But it got destroyed, and we're gonna have to move on to a new world. And the new camp at the time was on Earth in the forest, where we first met who is now the guild NPC. She was the main quest giver because Commander Zavala was hurt and wasn't doing strikes and shit yet, because we had to find him, and then we had to find the Warlock commander, and then we had to find Cade before he died. That was when I first played D2.
Man, that feels like forever ago. Like just thinking
Yeah.
about those strikes and like playing Destiny 2 back then. You know, it's crazy.
And it
I mean,
feels so
even-
surreal because sometimes when I'm like remembering my old D2, D1 days, it feels like I'm the only one who remembers those days specifically.
Well, right. Well, I played solo like for majority of the time. Like actually the entire time that I played D1, I played solo. I played it like any other game. I was antisocial like a motherfucker. But
When I
remember
first started.
grinding the Dreadnought so much just so I could have a freaking sword, right? I
Yeah.
put mad hours into the first sword, and then I wanted to get another one because you had the Void, Arc, and Solar, and I wanted all three swords.
Yeah.
And I literally almost shit myself when I first started playing Destiny 2, and as I was playing the very first part of the game, I got a sword, and I'm like, what is this? Like, it was a blue sword too. I was like, they just passing these out like, you know, pancakes out here, like hotcakes. They just give them away now. What the hell is this?
It was the same with me. It was the same
swords
with me,
were
but instead of
awesome.
sword, it was the same with me, but instead of swords, it was with a bow.
Dude, that was the only reason why I bought Forsaken. That was like that's all you had to do. Be like, we're going to put bows in. Okay, that's all I needed to know. I didn't like nothing else mattered to me. Just the fact that they were putting bows into the game. That's what drove me. I'm a simple person.
I'm simple man with simple needs.
Yeah, that's right. Just give me a bow and I'll be happy. I tend to do that with a lot of games, especially for the past few years. Let's just say Skyrim screwed me on that one. That's all I did was run a bow, and that was about it. Oh wait, no, I did the bow and then the what was it? The Dawning Sword. You remember that? I don't know if you ever played Skyrim.
Yeah, I
But-
still play Skyrim. Don't worry. I only play
No.
now.
We got talking on to Tu Yen Gang. He was just asking what we're talking about, if we're talking about or no, he's asking what we think about the glaives.
Glaives, the modular system.
Yeah,
Well, I feel like they could
like the
have
first
so-
person melee weapon.
No, I feel like Bungie has so many possibilities with that. And if they don't do anything interesting with it, it's just gonna end up being washed up by the meta. If it doesn't become meta and, you know, end up being just, hey, if you want to basically take over the whole game, use this one build specifically, and you'll basically be OP against every PvE specifically.
I don't know. We'll have to see what weapon crafting brings us, though.
Yeah,
Because
because
I
it's already...
I don't think that it's going to be that easy. I mean, I understand like a lot of people are going to gravitate towards like whatever is meta, but who knows? It might not be that simple anymore when it comes to the
But at
next
the
DLC.
At the same time, if they don't do anything interesting, like what I said earlier, like, oh, what if they added it to your actual skill tree? And it was a
Oh,
skill
yeah.
specific weapon.
Well, yeah, then everybody's going to use it. I mean, it's just like whenever Stasis first came out. You know, it'd be like that all over again.
Yeah, but I mean, like, every single tree has its own version of the weapon, and you can change it up to
Ooh.
fit your playstyle on that tree, is what I meant this
Ooh.
whole time.
Ooh, that could be nasty, but very interesting at the same time. It'd be kind of cool if
Yeah.
it could shoot out tethers. Bro, it's
I mean,
it's a lot
hey.
like the think of it this way, okay? Whatever the trace rifle, that the stasis trace rifle, right?
Yeah, the Queen's Grass or whatever quest.
And like where you can actually convert your super into that weapon. Well, what if you could do that with the glaive? Like what you're saying. Instead
Yeah.
of using your super, you press and hold square or whatever key that you use, and it transfers your super to that to make it more powerful. And like, let's say if you use tether for hunters, just for example, it would be, you know, maybe you're like shooting out a bunch of tethers or some shit. I don't know. That would be crazy to see that. That would be way overpowered. He also says
it would take away at least half your super energy at that point, just to shoot.
Possibly.
Because they would have to balance that out, because tether is already a really OP ability for, you know, damage scaling.
Well, Yin also has here's an interesting question. I've heard different opinions. Will the glaive use power, ammo, special, primary, or none? Will other abilities in the game use ammo of different types? That's interesting.
I feel like if they're gonna make it a fully modular system that you can customize, I feel like it could use every single ammo type, as long as you customize it for that ammo type.
But I would assume...
Go ahead.
Well, I was thinking, like, if we're talking about, like, okay, for the glaive, it would be a heavy weapon, correct?
Not necessarily, no.
I thought it was going to be a heavy weapon.
I mean, it could be, but again, that goes into the whole weapon crafting thing.
If it was kinetic, I mean, this is just, I'm an idiot, so I mean, I'm no experts. Don't look to me for examples to, I'm an idiot. But if I was to guess, I don't think the glaive would use kinetic.
Because I
think that would be way too overpowered. And if it did,
also,
it would suck. One of the two.
Yeah, but I also feel like if they primarily used it only for heavy, or they only made it heavy, like, it would basically completely take it out of the PvP game.
Well, here's another good question. Does it use ammo like a sword does? Like every time you strike with it, it uses ammo, and alongside shooting it.
Well, yeah, it would have to, unless Bungie somehow, out of their asses, makes it so that the glaive has 2 ammo reserves. One for the melee aspect, which could be on the heavy slot, and one for the shooting aspect, which could be on kinetic or primary.
I think if I had, well, you couldn't have it on kinetic because that's infinite ammo.
Yeah, but at the same time, like,
and we also don't see swords with specials. But they were talking about doing some revamping when it came to ammo drops and stuff like that. So we might actually see that come
but again,
about.
This goes back to it being, it would be basically locked in PvE.
Maybe.
It wouldn't be viable, or at least it wouldn't be meta in PvP. Like, not everybody goes into PvP, look, basically just saying, hey, go for the heavy. No, you go for your super, you go for your abilities, you go for the special ammo. You don't go for the heavy, because the heavy is a risky tactic.
Yeah, because now if you drop it, then your enemy can pick it up and take off with it.
Yeah. So it would be counterintuitive for it to just be heavy, at least in PvP. In PvE, it doesn't really matter.
But then you're basically saying that, like, if I understand this correctly, you would have the very first weapon that you use 2 different ammo types.
Yeah, and it could be interesting as well. because
I
it
don't
would
know.
make it the first of its kind, and we don't really have those in Destiny anymore. Because exotics in Destiny before, and at least in D1, were supposed to be unique little things that had their own specialties.
Right. Okay.
And sure,
Let me get this boy in here. He might be able to.
break
I
the
think he's got to
stalemate.
give us some extra insight on this too. Okay.
Yeah. Hello, human.
Hello, Guardian. Oh, and I don't know if you've seen at the beginning of the stream, I did brush up on my Hive lore, so, oh, he dipped. He pressed the button. I know he did. All right. We'll see when he comes back. But,
Yeah, but back to what I was saying.
oh, there
Back
it is.
back to answering your question.
Go ahead.
It would be the first unique weapon, so that goes to the question: what grade would it be, legendary or exotic? The glaive. What do you think, Arma? Would the glaive
A
be
legendary
exotic?
or an exotic? I think it's going to be a legendary.
You think it's gonna be legendary?
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna be exotic just because of the fact that it's gonna be crucial to the weapon crafting itself, and that it has so many possibilities for it to be so unique yet so different at the same time per glaive.
So, when I originally briefed this question in the chat, I had before when I first saw it in the original game trailer for, what was it? It wasn't. Why did I almost say E3? It's not E3. Whenever it was first released, I saw it. I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a sword, except it's not gonna have a heavy attack. It's gonna have a fire instead. But the more I think about it, the more I think it's gonna kind of blend functions. So you know how we have the auto melee for our melee system, and yeah, they just added the separation of that, so you can have a charged melee and a regular melee. What if they do that with the glaive?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that could be interesting as well. That's what I was telling about, that like the glaive, it being modular and it being part of like the crafting system, being the first thing that we can actually mod completely, like the perks and everything. I feel like it could be so unique yet so like non-foreign, I think is the word that I'm trying to use, because every Destiny player plays with mods, plays around with basically perk drops on every single legendary weapon that they get, that it's like, it's gonna be so uncommon and unique, yet at the same time so familiar and so easy to understand, at least to old veteran Destiny players. Which, if I'm being honest, is what Witch Queen basically is gravitating towards, the veterans that have been playing the game for a long time.
Well, actually, could it be possible
sure-
that they would actually make it? Not, I don't mean to interrupt. I kind of want to put this out, but what if, like, whenever we craft it, we could craft it as a heavy or maybe a special? Like, you could pick and choose which one you want.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, Arma. That you can mod it for the primary, secondary, or tertiary slot.
Okay, I was probably thinking like you were talking about like when it came like with the supers, implementing the glaive in with the super.
No, I'm actually talking about the actual weapon itself, not
Okay. Okay.
not what it could be centered around or what it could be in.
Okay. Like I said, I'm an idiot, so
It's fine.
But
it's just that I'm like mechanizing in my head like different ideas and different like ways that the glaive could be such a great thing for Destiny 2.
Well, it will be
I've,
the first melee, like first person melee. So it's like, what other weapons can they implement later on down the road the same way? So
Yeah,
it'll
because
be interesting.
if the glaze does well, Destiny is obviously going to gravitate more towards, oh, hey, players like this. Let's give them a little bit more of this, see what specifically they like.
Right. All right, Liko, I'll let you have the floor a little bit.
So, carrying on with this, I've been watching this video over and over because I just finished the Books of Sorrow this morning, because obviously this is going to contain some stuff from that, like wise, or I don't know what you prefer to be called. I'll just call you that for now.
Just call me Alza. It's fine.
Okay. So what you brought up earlier about combining stuff, if you look and if you watch the video closely, you can see it actually shows a quest step with part of the glaive in it. So I think it's going to be, a series of quests to build your glaive up slowly. You get more configurable stuff that you can change, because Destiny 2, originally, they were trying to lose the vast amount of customization that Destiny 1 had. If you play Destiny 1, you know Destiny 1, all of the exotics had extreme customization. You could customize every single aspect. Which
but that's
I think
what
they're
players...
trying to get more into.
Because that's what players liked about D1. It was customizable.
Yes.
It wasn't
Because they're
so
going for
cookie
Void. Yeah, they're making Subclass 3.0, Void 3.0, which is part of the Subclass 3.0. I think they're trying to do this and that to make more compatibility. And then another thing, I'll bring this up later when we leave this topic, but I found a few other things while I was watching the videos that are interesting. But with the glaive, if it's gonna be exotic or legendary, I believe it's gonna start off as a maybe blue, maybe gray even weapon, a shell of what it'll continue to be, and you'll slowly get it higher and it'll level up. Maybe this is
Like
just
what
a
we
guess.
did, like what we did with our armor pieces for Summer Solstice.
Yeah.
Yes. To
A
slowly
lot,
level
like
them up.
like
them-
and it like basically upgrades it from
And
whatever.
I'm believing that
and then,
with this.
That
with
would
these-
actually be really cool. Like,
Yeah, and I'm believing with these raids and stuff, maybe with the season raid, with the Witch Queen overall raid, that they're gonna base the entire, like, the story of Witch Queen around. Like in Taken King, they had the single raid that was based off of killing or defeating Oryx. So I think that's gonna be the final step, I guess, and maybe you get part of Savathun or something to level up this glaive to finality and make it an exotic.
Yeah.
I think that's what it should be. That would be awesome.
like
That
you
slow
literally
leveling up,
started
grinding
out
process.
to like base nothing, and then move it all the way up to exotic.
Yeah. And that's
Well,
what,
we've never
and that's
seen
what Destiny
that
is built for.
ever.
That's what Destiny's built for. It's an MMO. You're supposed to grind, and you're supposed to do these quests to get better and better. And I believe that's just a core aspect of the game that should be brought back to how it used to be.
Well,
Yeah, because
here's the only I can already hear an argument for it, but people could say, well, it's too grindy, it takes too long, because you know how we get, like, when we want something,
I do
we're
that
gonna
same thing,
grind
yeah.
the piss out of it, and then we're just gonna ruin our own experiences because that's how we are.
no, but
Which
at the
is-
same time, they could make it kind of like how the season is. They could make it so that the specific quest, you can only get the next part of the quest after a certain much of time has passed. So they kind of like,
So time gated.
kind of cockblock us a little
Yes.
bit. But they cockblock us a little bit, and we kind of want it more. But at the same time, it kind of spaces out the content so that we don't immediately just
I don't think they would have to do that though. Like where they
but at the
have
same-
to like drip drop that.
No, but at the same time, knowing how Destiny players are, they would have to do that at least a little bit, so they don't, you know, make every single player burn out trying to get every single upgrade, every single perk, every single thing. Because I doubt, at least if they do, I'm going to be really surprised, is that as soon as they add the upgrade system and the glaive, they just give you every single perk. I feel like they're just going to, every time you level up your glaive, you're going to get more and more perks.
I think based off of how Destiny has been in the past, how these sort of these things, but not exactly how they have been in the past, I believe it's going to be RNG based, of course, and then maybe a few quests that give you solid results, but I believe it's going to be RNG for other parts, because it's not only the glaive that'll be leveling up, or I mean it will be, but I can't say it will be. It's not going to be only the glaive that you can customize and get parts for. I believe there's going to be some sort of like currency or something that you exchange to combine these parts, and you can get that via the events, and you're not only going to be working on the glaive, you're going to be working on other weapons, maybe a PvP based weapon. If you play PvP a lot, I'm gonna try and grind if I can for a perfect handling of really good sniper that I can use.
Yeah, but at the same time, it comes the problem that sure, you can gain it through events, but after the event's done and the Witch Queen DLC, you know, comes to pass, how do you get back the currency? Do you just keep adding it to the season, or are they going to make it premium? Or is it going to still be grindable in the game for free, but you're going to have to do specific dungeons, specific quests?
I think it's going to be like the latter, like you just said, as it is for like the splicer currency and the stuff, all of that stuff. You just have to grind those sort of activities. Maybe all the activities in Savathun's Throne World will give you this certain currency, and with like Synthweave, I guess. I mean, Synthweave is available everywhere. What's a better one? Like hammer, what are they called? Hammer charges. You can only do that. You can only get them in that kind of game mode. I guess it's
in the arena.
Yeah, I believe it's gonna be kind of like that. So it's not gating it specifically, but it's allowing it to stay in the game even after the game or even after this DLC starts to pass and people get over it.
Yeah.
Well,
so
let me push back just a let me push back just a little bit, because we've already seen how people react when you're limited to something.
Yeah.
Let's say, because if they only give it to us, like you can only work on this section, and then you have to wait until you could do the next piece. And it's just like like the Astral Alignment and Override, where people argue is like, well, why does it have to be drip fed? Why can't you just let us do it all at once and let us just punish ourselves on our own terms? Which basically just sounds a lot like streamer talk to me. But yes, like, I mean, we've seen, members of our community act that way when you have to make them wait on something. So
yeah, but
I'm just kind of like challenging the idea, like with the arguments I've seen and heard.
Yeah, but at the same time, if it's not like, as you're saying, drip fed to us, it's gonna cost a lot of burnout.
If they don't,
there's gonna be a lot of players, especially casual players, who are gonna eventually burn out of the grind and have to take a month or 2 month break of the game, and then when they come back, it's gonna be a completely different meta, a completely different game, because everybody has the thing that changes the game.
We're in what?
And you're still halfway.
We're in what? The 17th week of this season, right?
Yeah.
No, that sounds kind of wrong. December of last year. We're further than that, actually.
I think we're further than that, because this was going to be like a 6-month period. between
well,
from like
we're
so
from
far-
the beginning of
we're
Season
s-
of the Lost to
Mhm.
Witch Queen.
We're so far in the season now. Everyone knows the meta. Everyone knows the PvE meta. It's easy. It's easy to get the stuff for it. Really easy to do that. When we launch into this new season, this new DLC, this new expansion, everything, I believe a lot of stuff is going to change. There's not going to be like freaking thermoclastic strike. There's not going to be particle deconstruction anymore because they're going to replace it with something else from the new artifact that you have to grind. So you're not instantly going to be able to solo clear these immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're also gonna get your light reset, right?
Well, it
Uh,
doesn't reset. It just keeps climbing.
I don't know if yeah, it's just they're gonna probably hop it. I think they're probably gonna I think they're gonna do 1400 this time. Finally jump it up to 1400.
I don't. They don't.
There.
They don't jump it that far anymore. They used to.
Well, there's
But
people
it's
at
not as high.
1370, 13. There's people
Yeah,
at 1370
but
right
that's
now.
due to their artifact. That's
Yeah, but at the
strictly
same
due to their
time-
artifact. But what it is like right now I think it's like 1320, 1330, so it's only going to probably go up to about 1350. And that will be
cap
like
for
the
this season-
hard cap, and then your artifact rises
absolute-
you after that.
The absolute hard cap for this season, I believe, is 1350. You cannot go past 1350 base light level without an artifact.
Oh, well, without an artifact?
Without an artifact, the cap is 1350 because that's what grandmasters are.
Yeah, and I'm still at 1330.
Yeah, I'm like 1348, 1349, something like that. And that's by choice
and that's with the
because of
artifact.
those certain weapons I'm using that are still at like 1320.
With
But-
my
at
artifact, I think I'm at
1330.
1375 right now.
Yeah,
I'm at
if it was like anything like last time or before, yeah, it would be good jump like 50 light levels. Like how
Once
because
you
they
go
would
past
go
1350, it doesn't really do anything though.
Yeah.
No, it really don't. It doesn't. Because I
'Cause
think
in-
somebody
especially
went
in,
all the
like,
way to
Grandmasters.
1400 with their artifact, and they said
Yeah.
it really don't do anything. I mean, there's a limit. You're not like going around clearing Grandmaster Nightfalls and like just one-shotting everything.
Because the way like Nightfalls and Grandmasters works, Nightfalls I think it's 15 if you're doing hero or no, not hero. It's legend.
Yeah.
It's always going to be 15 light level higher than you. If you're 1400, they're going to be 1415. For Grandmasters, it's only going to be 30. It's going to be 1430. It doesn't matter your
Yeah.
light level. The
I
enemies
think
in those kinds
they-
of activities always jump.
Yeah, they always jack it up on the back end. It's got to be because you could be doing something that's like base level. Like if you go to the
Yeah, if you do something
Dares
that's
of Eternity,
1100,
that's only 1150, and
yeah,
it's
and it'll
it's
jump it
still
up based off of your light level.
yeah, and it's still like it could feel like it's right at your light level.
Actually, to bring it back a little bit, to bring it back to a little bit to the past, what do you both think about the new light and Bungie forcing them to do Dares of Eternity as soon as they're like spawning in?
Okay,
I think that
I'll-
was.
I will
I think
let-
that was an accident. I don't think that was purposeful.
I don't
If
think
it
it
was.
was,
That's
no.
a serious mistake on their part. I think
I
they
will-
didn't realize what they had done.
well, I
Yeah,
will
because
take. I'll let you guys run this back and forth. I'm going to get me some coffee real quick.
All right.
So.
Because, like, I feel like they're doing the same thing with Beyond Light. At least they did the same to me with Beyond Light when I first came back into
Yeah.
the game. After, I don't know, 3-4 years of not playing Destiny 2. Or any Destiny in general. They forced me to do the starting campaign, the first few like steps of the quest for Beyond Light. And then
They
they
did
kind
the
of
same
like,
thing.
and then they kind of cockblocked me like, hey, if you want to continue this quest and if you want to get a new skill tree, you're gonna have to buy it, you asshole.
Yeah, I believe this wasn't This may have been a huge marketing scheme to try and like promote higher level players to help the lower level players out, help them get through the game. But I'm not so sure about that.
No, because if it was a marketing scheme for, newer players to see older players in action and see how, quote unquote cool they looked, it would just be a really bad marketing plan, because at the same time, old school veteran players, old lights, so to speak, had to lower themselves to the point of being a new light, which is 1100.
But once you get in, you can just switch it over.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, you're already there. The most you're probably gonna do, like, viably before the whole quest starts, because new lights are obviously gonna rush in, like, oh, this is new, let's just go in.
Especially the people who've never played before and just start playing. They're like, oh, is this a tutorial? They'll think it's a tutorial because they're forced into the sudden new activity that they have no clue about.
Yeah, so viably, like, in that short amount of time, unless you fucking have, like, godly internet and godly mouse speed, because let's be honest, you're not gonna be doing that in console.
Nah.
I mean, you probably might at this point, but at the same time, like, the console cursor is so much slower than the actual mouse cursor.
Mm-hmm. I do PvP mostly, but I play with controller because I practiced for so long and I got my sniping down where I can play really well with the mouse, but I cannot hit headshots like I can with a controller anymore.
Yeah.
If I may ask, what kind of settings do you use on for your controller?
So with this new sensitivity update, if I remember correctly, my controller is a Thrustmaster, so it has its own setting thing, and I have a linear modifier in it, so it has a jump. Once the stick reaches the dead zone, it jumps up ×3, and so out of ADS, I think my sensitivity is set to 12, and in ADS it's set to 7.
Okay.
Have you tried?
I
have more or less the same.
I
think I have.
That's my controller.
I've tried a new setting. It was actually when I was playing a lot of Modern Warfare, and I came across this YouTuber, and he was talking about it, like how he sets up his controller and how well he does, because I was doing a lot of like quick scoping and everything then, and he actually, what it is on Destiny is called Puppeteer, where basically while you're like, you basically leave, like if you're sliding a lot, like if you're coming up to a corner or something and you want to slide, you're literally, your thumbs stay on both the sticks at all times instead of holding circle. Like you actually, like your thumbs stay on the sticks, so like it was awkward at first, but after I did the change, I'm like, holy crap, I love this, because it really stepped up my game.
In D1, I used to play relative, not like pro league, but I played in a clan, and I did pretty well. I bought this controller and I fell in love with it, and that's why I got this one. It's around the same thing. It's got 4 inputs on the back. I have them mapped to my triangle, X, circle, and square on the back, so my thumbs never leave my joysticks. And while jumping, I can aim. While sliding, whenever I need to do whatever.
Yeah.
I can place a barrier and snipe someone at the same time, right before the animation starts.
God damn.
Yeah.
I can shoot you and then all of a sudden there's a barrier there.
Yeah, because with Titan barriers, you can kind of flinch the animation if you fire at the exact moment you hold down the button.
Oh shit. That's crazy. That's like what would they call that? Kind of like a wombo combo type of deal?
Yeah.
Kind of like when Stasis first came out, like you could literally throw the ice glacier grenade and it would launch you in the air, and then you shatter dive right back down.
Oh yeah, right into
Fuck it, yeah, dude. Oh, that was so much fun.
I remember beginning Stasis where you could just spam shatter dive. You jump up, shatter dive, jump up, shatter dive.
Jump up, yeah, and you just destroy everybody. Stasis used to be so much fun. Oh,
Yeah.
I used
When
to
I used to
love
play
it.
Hunter, it was so fun.
You
I never
know,
played it
people
when
are
it was
like,
good,
"Oh,
but
it's not
apparently when
skill."
it was
It's
good
like I'm
for
not playing because of skill. I'm playing it because
I'm
it's
playing 'cause
fun.
it's fun.
That's the only reason why I'm doing it.
Apparently,
It's because it's fun. I could
When
care
I when
less
I
about skill.
when I came back to D2 after, you know, a long hiatus and after giving up on Warframe completely.
oh my god, me. I did that
Um,
with Warframe as well.
I played Warframe for 5 years.
I played it for like a good 3 years, and I was like, back to Destiny.
I
No,
tried
like,
it and I quickly fell off because I was lost. I didn't know where to go, and I was like, I don't think this is for me. So I ended up
Okay.
deleting it and never
To,
looked back since.
to change the topic a little bit to another game. I've been playing Warframe for the better part of my life. Like ever since I got a PS4 and I got it at like when I was like 10-ish, 10, 11-ish,
Oh shit.
give or take.
Yeah.
And I'm 17 now, so I've played it for the better part of 5 to 6 years.
Damn.
I've played it for the most,
That's a
for the
long way.
better.
That's a long time.
I've played it for the better part of my whole teenage years so far.
Jeez. That is
I've
pretty crazy.
I've stuck with Warframe's bullshit for so fucking long. It's- It is this year where I finally just said, nah,
It's like I'm done.
fucking done.
I am despising. So I love Destiny. I loved it. When I first played it, the tutorial for D2, I was like, it's pretty straightforward, pretty good. You go in here, they teach you how to use your weapons, you kill some things, and then you're good to go. And now I tried teaching my sister how to play. I mean, this isn't a really good time anyway because everyone's always max level, and it's this game right now is less new lights and a bunch of max level people, old lights, people who have been playing for a long time. But
Yeah.
I watched her play this new tutorial. I hate it so much. It's so long and it's so needless.
I tried it.
I
I just tried it because it was nice to be able to like start out in the Cosmodrome just like you did in D1. I mean, that was kind of the only reason is play that first mission.
Yeah.
And after that, it's like I didn't care anymore after that. I was like, this is all I wanted, but it started throwing me all kinds of other stuff. I'm like, no. I've already done all this crap. No. I just wanted to play the first mission.
No, that's another thing that really caught me off guard is like when I came back because I had to like start a new character. Because, you know, it's been 3-4 years since I played Destiny.
Yeah.
And the game kind of forgot that I existed.
Jeez.
So I basically had to start off as a new light. And I fucking despise the tutorial because it threw me to Savala, then it threw me to fucking Shaxx, then it threw me to the fucking Warlock commander that doesn't do shit. Then it threw me to the fucking guild bitch. Then it threw me all the way back to fucking Eververse. And then it took me to Saint 14, which I couldn't fucking use because I didn't have fucking Beyond Light.
Okay. Let me see if I could paint this picture for you guys, okay? Maybe I can make it better. All right.
Another thing that kind of pissed me the fuck off is that after I logged out and I came back to the game the next day, it made me start Beyond Light. And then when I got to the end of the little first part of Beyond Light, it blocked the fuck out of me.
Yeah. Okay. Let me paint this picture for you. And I think this is something that Bungie could have done and it would have been actually really good. In my opinion. Okay, you start off like you're a new light player. You just downloaded Destiny. And once you first start up, you create your character and all that good stuff and you start the game. Then you go in and you do the very first mission like you did in D1, just like how you do it now, right? So you get in there and then as soon as you get through the end, because you kind of get the feel, you pick up some weapons, You know, maybe it'll give you some dialogue on what to do and all this other stuff. But as you fly away and you start going to the tower, that's when the Red War begins.
Yeah, so like the old,
just
story
and you go
reminded.
through the entire Red War DLC or the story, and that's how you get through the game. And once you beat that, you got the gist of everything.
Yeah, but that would require them to add back the Red War.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
I know.
maybe they could have done it that way, and it would have been really good.
You should look at that meme I just said. That's me. That was me in the beginning of Beyond Light. So.
And then I added.
Switching around. Yeah. So since we're kind of leaving the topic of the glaive and stuff, I just finished the Books of Sorrow, which I linked them in the other chat if you guys want to look at them. If you haven't read them yet, I believe you probably both have. If not, they're really good. It's worth it, and it'll be especially good for this. This season.
I personally haven't, because I'm not into the lore as much as like Arma or you are. I'm just here for the fun parts.
Hey, bro, like I'm just now getting into the like this lore stuff, and boy, I was loving it today. I was just like, man, I'm seeing Destiny in a whole new light. Oh, it was
it's
so
mostly because
nice.
like I already have enough reading material as it is, and if I get a game that just gives me more reading material, I'm gonna be like,
well, that's the fun part, is if you go to My Name is Bife, he reads it to you and you just listen. I literally was working, you know, because like I'm a mechanic, so I can literally listen and just listen to the story, and the way he does it is amazing. Like, he adds music, he adds like he'll even change up his voice a little bit to really add to the story, to really bring it to life. And it was amazing. Like, I learned a lot through the Book of Sorrows.
I'm gonna tell you something. I don't remember stuff by someone reading it to me. I actually have to read it myself.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like when someone's reading it to me, I play it like in my head like a movie. So it's like, and then I can remember certain parts. Now, can I recite it to you? No. That word for word.
I've seen that video so many times.
Part of the reason I haven't graduated early is because I don't learn how teachers at my school at least teach. Like, they read you the stuff and they expect you to absolutely fucking learn it. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
So I like Biff's video a lot, but reading it is completely different. He reads it, but he doesn't read the way the Books of Sorrow are written. There so many different viewpoints. He focuses on an overall viewpoint, but the individual viewpoints in it are insanely detailed.
There's more.
And
if there's more, I want. Yeah. If there's more, I want more.
What he read to you is the full summarized story. If you read the Books of Sorrow,
I want like the 6 hour long version of it.
So the Books of Sorrow, I think there's 56 verses, and there are 9 verses, and each verse has around like 10 to 15 things in them. I listed them in the chat room. You can see them right there in the calcified fragments. That has all of them.
Okay.
And they're so much more detailed. And you'll gain a lot of information about the lore and like the individual standpoints of like Ziva Arath. That's before. I mean Oryx, Savathun, and Ziva Arath. You'll get their individual viewpoints.
I wonder if I could look up on my phone to see if there's any like audio books through Google Play for Destiny lore books. I mean, if there is, I'm like cashing out like right now to buy some.
These helped me discover something actually from the videos. I noticed this in Azatroth's video I watched today. but I noticed it before I watched that video because of these. All of the, like, the chemical symbols on the armor and stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So those, of course, those are connected to the 7-point star. That's not what I'm on about, though. On all the flavor text in the last, like all the flavor text in that 30-second area in the beginning, there's a chemical formula at the top. The chemical formula is for osmium, which is
And
the name
I heard that, yes, in the Book of Sorrow, they brought that up.
The osmium court is the name of the original hive court. The original, like, that's Xivu Arath, Oryx, and Savathun, and it's mentioned so many times in ways that are not noticeable at all unless you, like, look up, like, here, I'll try and find a photo of it, or at least get a screenshot of it.
I'll be
it's
right back. I'm gonna mask up and go
sick.
get something to drink because I have freaking COVID and I have to wear a mask just to go out of my goddamn room.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that real quick.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right. Bro, and another thing that I noticed is that they always kept bringing up the final shape. That was another thing they kept bringing up the final shape, right? I think it has something to do with, like, there's no gods, only absolutes. And it's all about, like, the final shape. And I was like, whoa, that's like 2 more DLCs from now. So what does that mean? Does that mean, like, we're not going to get anywhere near to get to Savathun? Or is it not just Savathun? Because we still have Xivu Arath, right? We still got to go after her. And what's there to say, like, or what if Savathun uses our light to bring back Oryx, like Oryx did with his 2 sisters? Because in the story that, like, how he got his D1? Taken power. Yeah, I played D1. I played Taken King as well.
Do you remember? So do you remember his clones that he created? The shadow clones, basically.
Yes.
In the final battle with him.
Yes.
In this video, in the Savathun Strong World video, the recent one, and in the gameplay trailer 4 months ago or whatever, they both have the video of Savathun ascending, and also the little clip of her. This one, the Savathun Strong World one, has the clip of her using that almost same ability. It looks like splitting into 3.
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is,
so I kind of wonder if she might be trying to if she's going to end up trying to bring Oryx back. Because at this point, would he be considered like he no longer has his worm because it ended up consuming him?
I think she wouldn't be able to bring him back in full. I think
because technically he truly dead though.
If you read the Books of Sorrow, you'll notice Savathun, which was originally I can't remember her original name. Sithona.
Yeah, so Sithona
was the rich, extremely, like, emotional. Not
she was the one that was like wanted to be like the mother or something.
Sithona, yes, wanted to be.
Yeah,
the mother.
she wanted to grow up and be a
one,
mother. Yeah.
But she also was she was rather emotional about like things like leaving. She was the one who wanted to try and kill the helium drinkers, which were the ones who killed their father, of course.
Yeah.
But I believe that she's in this video, it looks like she's almost out for revenge rather than trying to bring them back. Almost like she doesn't think she can bring Crota back, and she'd rather try and kill the Guardian that killed him and take their light and please the sword logic even further.
No, because it sounds like to me that she's trying to remove herself from the sword logic. Because that she did try that. Oryx's son, Oryx's son,
Crota.
No, the one that he banished. That got into necromancy. she ended up like them two working together because she brought him into like her throne world or whatever, and they talked about she wanted him to be able to teach her necromancy, and we're thinking like when it comes to like Witch Queen, maybe that's how she gets the light, is by taking dead ghosts and then using Oryx's son to use necromancy to bring them back to life. And then that's how she's able to make the Hive Guardians.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
Now that's just speculation, and that's not my idea either. So just, I think that was Bife's speculation. Like he was speculating that could be something that come about.
By the way, I'm back. I don't know if y'all noticed. I was just kind of here.
Yeah. So, but
going back to DLC. I'm just kidding. Y'all keep talking. It's fine.
But like I was saying, I think she's trying to get away from the sword logic. That's because the way that the lore is describing it, they're like dropping little hints.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
So maybe it's not us that she's after.
Maybe not.
Because if she gets rid of the sword, gets away. Plus, I would assume, now is, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, is the worm that she has still connected with like this whole sword logic thing? Are those two one and the same?
Probably.
Or is it that sword logic is actually like their ritual type, like a religion type thing?
So I believe the way they think, or the way not Savathun never thought of it this way. Savathun was always opposed to it, but the way Oryx and Zivu of Wrath thought of it was more of a way to gain power, just like the worms. They didn't think of it as a religion, more of like how the Guardians think of the light. It's a tool rather than like a religion.
Actually, Arma, to bring up a point that Arma brought on earlier. What if instead of like corruption, we get the sword logic tree? But at the same time,
I thought of that as well.
Yeah, but at the same time, how is that going to be implemented to each and every class? Like Titan, it could be easily implemented into Hunter. Easily.
Yeah.
Just give Hunter some daggers.
It would be a lot like, you know, how we got stasis, but the next would, instead of being like corruption, maybe Savathun, maybe she's not truly our enemy, but she ends up showing us how to obtain sword logic, maybe.
If you look at where I pinged you, the text right above Explore Savathun's Throne World, that little XE and then the numbers, that's the chemical formula I was speaking of.
Oh yeah.
In every single one of these little texts.
Yep. Yeah, I see.
And then there's those numbers at the bottom that I'm trying to figure out. I don't know any correlation between the numbers.
It's probably like the number of members or the number of things that you probably need to the ritual, and or to have an actual sword logic. It could be that. I could be wrong.
Sword logic.
But well, I thought it
was a little while ago.
Well, I mean, all we're really doing is speculating.
This is all speculation. We don't know anything for sure.
Yeah. And honestly, I'd rather be this way to like speculate what could possibly come about versus being like, you know, going through a bunch of like data mine shit and then trying to guess what's correct and what's not, you know. I'd rather sit here and use my imagination and be like, hey, this might be a good idea and it actually sounds really cool, but we may never see it come to fruition. Who knows?
Actually, the thing that the numbers could be is like the hierarchy, like the number of the members that need to be in a certain hierarchy for it to actually work.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm just not.
Oh, there's the so that square, and then the moon symbols are showing. I never noticed those. The square for salt, that's in the warlock thing is right under the world, and then the moon for the hunters under there, and then the triangle that signifies, I think it was Mars, is above Explorer. That's on the Titan. That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, if as you said, Arma, if our next skill tree does end up being sword logic, it could be easily implemented into actually Warlock and Hunter, because Warlock already has a sword. Although at the same time, what exactly is sword logic?
So so if it's sword logic, it's not gonna be. It's gonna be so think of like the Titan melee ability, I guess you could say. The hammer, yes, it's gonna be a stacking bonus because the whole point of the sword logic is to prove yourself against opponents and solidify your place in the universe by defeating weaker opponents.
Yeah, but at the same time, how is that gonna stack up in actual gameplay? Because if it is our next skill tree, and
I think it's gonna be aspect. If they, this is all speculation, but if they did it, I think they'd make aspect based, and then all of the quests to get these aspects would be off of defeating powerful opponents, maybe completing raids against powerful opponents, killing. If they bring the sword logic, they're probably gonna bring in the old worm gods as well, or some form alike them.
Well, I would think it might not, like, we wouldn't be able to do, like, maybe not do sword logic at its fullest power or something like that.
Yeah, no.
Because if you really think about it,
in order,
I think it's like with sword logic. I know if you obtain the worm, you have to continuously just massacre everybody in order to.
Yes, and you have to follow.
To keep feeding the worm like a parasite. But sword logic, I don't think it, if I can't remember if they were talking about like sword logic, it like consumes you if you don't.
Yeah, if you don't, the worm will consume you, and it's.
I know the worm
grows the
will,
more you use it.
but the sword logic
if I'm being honest,
itself,
don't we already do that enough? Don't we already just massacre everything in sight all the time, anyways?
Well, yeah, but
so we could get the worm.
I don't want to sit here and I haven't played in a while,
worm,
you know, and then all of a sudden I hop on, you know, after like 2 months, and my guardian is dead because of sword logic, you know, because I didn't use it.
I don't think they do it like that.
No, it wouldn't be nothing like that.
I want to bring this up real quick because I completely forgot to mention this yesterday when I was on. Okay. Make sure if you're gonna play Destiny, you should hop on, save up your bounties so you can level up really quickly, and once you reach next season, because you can hold bounties over seasons, completed bounties, and then you can just grind.
I don't think
if you want to get
well, you don't get to keep all your daily bounties, and all the bounties from these past few seasons, like the Astral Alignment and stuff like that.
The daily bounties won't carry over. No. The additional bounties, once they're completed, will.
Like weekly bounties, yeah, like you can, or like the Iron Banner bounties.
Yep.
But all the like everything from Seasonal Loss, Seasonal Splicer bounties, you won't be able to do that. They're actually going to delete those. Benji has already stated that. I know that was like a bickering topic not too long ago.
What are they going to Splicer things apart from just letting it there be grindable? Are they going to do anything else with that?
What, dares?
No, the Splicer.
Oh, no, it's going away.
Yeah,
when Witch Queen drops that and Astral Alignment, all that, it's going away.
Cool.
The only thing that's remaining with us from like this season and previous seasons is going to be like the 30th anniversary, but that's it. Everything else is leaving.
Basically, there's a maternity in the dungeon.
Yeah, the dungeons will stay.
That
yeah.
that is leaving as well.
What,
The
the
dungeon's
dungeon?
staying. Dares of Eternity is leaving.
No, Dares is staying.
Oh, I thought they said they were gonna remove Dares of Eternity
No.
when 30th
No,
anniversary
Dares is
was.
staying. They have it was actually in the last TWAB from yesterday.
Oh, okay, good.
So
good.
they're actually leaving Dares, and we don't know when it will go away, but they did say it's going to remain with us throughout 2022. So it's safe to,
So probably,
it's safe
like-
to say that it's going to stay with us most of this year.
Mhm.
Yeah, probably up until like December-ish, September.
Maybe. Probably whenever the next DLC. Hopefully it'll be this year.
Yeah, whenever it's announced.
What's up,
And
Chris? How are
hopefully
you
I'll
doing
have a
tonight?
job by-
Oh, I was talking to chat. Chris just hopped in.
Oh, Chris is
Is he-
here. What's up, man?
Yeah, Chris is here. He said reboot. but
But-
Chris always do be vibing.
man, this has actually turned out to be a really good stream, man. We're actually coming up to almost 2 hours.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
I'd
Let's keep
love,
going.
I'd
Fuck yeah.
love to see, I'd love to see this grow because this is an awesome. I actually really like this. An open-based podcast. People can listen in, call-ins. It's a really good idea. I'd love to see it get bigger. More people find out about it. Have more
Yeah,
call-ins,
I
and we can
mean,
have more
you sh-
discussions and stuff.
You can let your friends know and let them know that Armor Light sent you.
I'm definitely gonna put it in the clan server that I'm in.
I don't expect you to do all that. Like I don't want people to like think that they have to, promote for me or anything, But it's one of those things because like think about it, like all the other podcasts that cover Destiny, it's always the streamers, and yeah, they try to reach chat or, but I feel like it's so controlled, and it's like, why not have people actually come in and actually speak their mind and not be limited to 230 characters?
Yeah,
Like
because
we can actually sit here for like 2-3 hours and actually chill out and talk.
yeah, because sure, what you have is a script as well, but it's mostly just topics that we can bring up naturally.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah, like we went from Witch Queen to Warframe to something else. Like,
Dude,
yeah,
I didn't
Chris,
even know
we
you
got
could get exotics.
this has definitely
You can
been a
get
longer
exotics
stream
from the
tonight.
You can get exotics from the Paraversal Hall. I didn't know that. The Star Horse thingy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because I just got freaking Peregrine Greaves from it. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I had one drop for me from one of those boxes. Yeah,
I
It's actually
haven't
really
even
cool.
gotten. I haven't even gotten to that point of opening the boxes because I just don't have the time to grind, and I don't even have my console right now.
right.
At the moment, I am trying to grind for a 1-2 punch shotgun because then my build is complete.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Plus,
There's
I'm
actually
mostly
quite a
playing-
few. Well, you
Yeah,
can
that's
always, on the right day, you could go to the moon and do the
Yeah, I actually need to
public
do that on my
event.
wall.
True.
but that's
True.
like one day, and then you
Yeah.
have to wait 3 more days before it comes back around, because there's like 3 weapons you can get up there. I think another one was, I think you get one through
Why am I getting so many freaking falling guillotines?
oh, I don't
That's
know.
hilarious. I got 2.
It's like
Damn.
that's not the sword I want. I want the
Yeah,
what was it,
as well
the
as
other half,
Tarantula.
or
Oh,
or-
I've got the other half. Yeah, half truce and the other half.
what is the god roll for that?
I have a really good roll, but the god roll is the new perk. But I have it's adaptive. I have heavy guard, energy transfer, and vorpal. The god roll is the new eager edge. That's what it is. Eager edge vorpal weapon, because the other half is the only one that can roll with eager edge in the 3rd slot.
I think I got one with eager edge and surrounded.
If you had eager edge vorpal, that's the god roll. That's the best
Okay.
roll in the game.
Okay, I'll keep my
What
eyes
is
out for
golden
that
strike?
one.
Yeah.
I just
And
wasn't
then
sure if
that-
it would be any good though, like compared to
If-
like some other swords that could be using.
With if you use Eager Edge is insanely good. If you switch to that sword and then swing, you almost teleport. The range on it is insane.
Yeah. I've
By the way,
seen
I'm
that,
gonna-
like people skating. It's crazy.
I'm be a meme lord and say, Lyco, you're a trap.
Bruh, yeah.
Your profile picture is a trap, and I'm not falling for it.
What?
Oh, that is hilarious.
It's
A fellow man of culture. A fellow
it's
man of
anime.
culture.
Now,
Yeah.
now you got me all curious. It's like, what?
So basically, a
Paragon-
trap is
Oh my god! I got
a trap is a man who dresses as a woman and acts as a woman.
Yeah,
It's
that's what
basically
my profile picture is, and it's hilarious.
yeah. Like I've been looking at your profile picture for the longest time, and I'm like, is that really that one character? Is it that one character?
I guess so. I'm so lost. I'm out of the loop on this one.
'Cause
I'm
if I
not.
remember
I'm not.
And he's all good.
I'm not all that into the whole Japanese cartoons. So
Because if I remember correctly, it's from ReZero, if I'm not mistaken.
This one's from Fate, the Fate series. There's one from ReZero as well.
Yeah. No,
well,
ReZero.
Chris, if you got a couple of god rolls, maybe you can lend me one. Damn, shit, got to throw it in my face. Shit, he's over here like, yeah, I got a couple god rolls.
I don't even know if I have any god rolls. I think I actually do have one, the shotgun one. But from the moon that I got on my Hunter with You armor, remember?
Yes.
I actually did get that shotgun, but I don't really use it because I don't like shotguns.
Yeah, I was using it like when I was running a lot of like with a bow when I was using Tinku's divination, and I was using that with a War Mind Cell build, and using that with the Moon shotgun. Oh, it was a beautiful pairing. It just worked really well. And then we had the season of the Splicer with the grenade launchers, and I didn't look back since.
I never looked back ever since.
Yeah, breach and clear was amazing. That was an amazing perk. Besides that one, and then the other one where the hunter, when he dodges, he could, like, I was pairing it with my 1-2 punch, or not my 1-2 punch, Liar's Handshake. Like, I would be in Crucible with Chaperone, and I would dodge towards you, and I would literally have an overshield over me, and then I would punch you, and then I would, bring up my weapon and headshot you like perfect every single time.
So what I'm using,
I was a monster in that.
what I'm using right now is Peregrine. I can't say the word. Peregrine Greaves, which does bonus damage on airborne shoulder charge, which is insanely good because you get the freaking insane mobile or the insane melee damage right now because of the fire build, the hammer strike build.
Yeah.
Because it weakens them, and then the damage comes into play, and it insta kills anyone in Crucible. 100 bazillions if you hit that melee. Actually, so what you do is you pair it with Monte Carlo, and then you just recharge your.
Oh my
melee
god, that
almost
is
instantly.
stupid, dude.
Yeah.
God
I
damn.
just remember-
It's what I use in trials against all of these new people using the freaking what is the pairing I've been seeing recently? Eyes Luna and what's that bow?
Lemon Arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, the poison bow. I love that bow in PvP.
It's a really good pairing for like a 120 because you body shot, and you can get a really quick kill.
Well, what I like to do is hit you with the poison, and then it literally takes your overshield away. And if I use like a 140, I could literally I use Lucky Pants, swap to my hand cannon, and then pop you in the head once. Most times you will die with just one shot. It's almost like a 1-2 thing. It's now if I use like a kinetic bow and then Oh, what's that special hand cannon that we got a while back that also had a scope on it?
Igneous hammer? No.
No.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The special ammo one?
Yeah, it takes special ammo.
I know
Um,
exactly which one you're
I-
talking about. It
Okay.
is
Actually, to bring it out of Destiny for a second, this is gonna be mostly for Lyco here.
Okay.
But do you remember ever hearing about and or seeing an anime called Camphor?
no.
I've heard about it.
I have not. That sounds
Hello?
a little horrifying. You guys not hear me?
Okay, sorry, hold on, just a second. I can't
I
hear
can
you.
hear. I can hear both of you.
Oh,
I
okay,
can't.
I'm like, yeah.
It
yeah,
must
I'm
be
like,
on his end.
Yeah. I was sitting here, I'm like, can he not hear me? Am
No.
I the one who's having problems?
No.
I'm it's probably on my end, sorry.
Nah, it's all good. No, I have not heard about it.
I don't know how to describe it, but it's, for lack of a better word, like the actual like genre of it is gender bending.
Oh, it's the vow. Vow. That's what it is.
Arena's Vow. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, Ariana's vow. That's what it is. Okay. Okay. Go back to what you were saying. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah,
You're my hero.
but yeah,
Just over here doing the clutch.
if for some reason you're curious about a gender bending anime, Camphor is a pretty good choice. It's on YouTube, I think. Yeah. But the thing is, I have such a weird like experience with anime because I didn't start off where usually people start. I started off with Inuyasha.
So a little bit older school.
Yeah, I didn't start off with like Naruto or Goku or like, well, not Goku, Dragon Ball, and or One Piece or like Bleach. I started off with Inuyasha. Then I went over to, for some fucked up reason, I went over to the ecchi area and I watched Omamori Himari.
Everyone does that. Don't worry about it. That's
No,
what I
but it
did.
was legit. It was legit my second anime. My third anime was Camphor. And after that, I went to a weird phase in my life where I was like in that fanfic phase. Keep in mind, I was only 8 or 9. 8 or 9, and am already having my fanfic phase. And for some fucked up reason, my fanfic phase was Sonic.
Oh my god.
So when I was little, I spent hours, and I do mean hours, just listening to Sonic fanfics on YouTube while watching Inuyasha, Mamoru Himari, and Camphor. Then later on in my life, aka 2 years later, I actually started using apps, aka Crunchyroll and Verve, when Verve came out. And the first anime I watched on the app, I think it was Sword Art Online. The first 2 seasons, because freaking the third one hadn't come out yet, and aliasization wasn't even a thing. And even then, I didn't finish aliasization. I got halfway through it, and I'm like, I just can't do this.
I haven't finished it either.
I have such a weird relationship to anime now that it's like, I can't stand it, but I can read novels and manga just fine.
That's the same way I am right now, actually. I can't stand like sitting there watching through an anime, but I can read just fine.
Yeah. And like it's so weird because just recently I started rewatching Tokyo Ghoul and Overlord,
Mm-hmm.
which are my absolute favorites because they're also part of what I started with.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned them because they're so basic at this point.
Yeah.
Because like if you're getting into anime, the first top 5, at least depending on the person you're talking to, Tokyo Ghoul, Overlord, freaking the Inspector one. I forget the name.
What?
The one that,
Spectre one?
yeah, the kid detective.
Oh, I actually have never seen that one. I know what you're talking about. I've never seen it though.
Yeah, it's either that one, Full Metal Alchemist, freaking, and even now, freaking shitty My Hero Academia. Even though it's ass now, at least the first 2 seasons are good, in my opinion.
Well, on that note, it is now have been over 2 hours. I don't mean
Wild.
to cut
That
you
is
off or
crazy.
anything, but it's actually been really good. This is one of my best streams. I really enjoy it when I can get more than just myself. It helps because I don't talk to myself very well, like on camera. I tend to run out of shit really fast, so my streams typically run only like 30-40 minutes. But when I have more than just myself, they could go a lot longer.
Yeah.
Actually,
but yes, but yes, if we I would really like to, where we can have, a good, few audience to come in. And so the stream does run Monday through Friday. I have made that established for this year. I'll do it Monday through Friday. It usually starts about the same time. So I tried to do it between 9 and 9:30, but I usually get about 9:45, somewhere around there. So, yeah, and I try to come up with different topics. Maybe I'll just be some vague like this, like just Witch Queen. I didn't have anything to really talk about, unless if it's something specific like on the TWAB or whatever. But but anyways, and I do appreciate you guys being here. You guys pretty much made the show. So, and but yeah, if you guys want to come back, I'll be here again Monday night. So
I'd love to come back more often. This is really awesome.
Hell yeah. And I know you're a real big PvP player, Lico, so I know we should discuss about that at some point. A buddy of mine, he said he wanted to talk a lot about the matchmaking debate for trials and stuff.
Oh my god, I hate it so much. Yes, I'll save that for another day.
We'll save that for another video. And hopefully he could be on the same time as old friend that I used to play Destiny a lot with. So, but anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down here.
Yep.
So again,
you forgot about my last word.
Oh wait, okay. So everybody, this is an old thing that we started way back. So the old wise gets to give everybody like his final thought to send you home with. So
yeah.
And all right, so I'll let you have the floor now. Give everybody your words of wisdom.
Lico, there's the way they call me the old wise. Today is nothing special, really. Today is just I hope that everybody finds their own way in life, not just virtually, but also physically and spiritually, because everybody deserves to have a stable life, happy, and I really hope that you all figure out your puzzle pieces, so to speak, and you enjoy it
That's deep.
because you only live once,
YOLO.
and you only
YOLO.
have and you only have a certain amount of time to live that one life. So might as well make the most of it.
I agree. Liko, would
I also agree.
would you like to have any final words before I let you guys go?
I mean, carrying on to that, yeah, I agree with everything you said. You should live
Everything
your life.
he said.
Have it, live it to the fullest. One last thing. Trials is shit. Don't play trials. Bad trials.
Hot take right at the end. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. You never
Make
know
'em
what you're going
rile
to
for
find
more.
here at the Loot Cave.
Make them rile for more. They'll have to come back to argue with me.
Hell yeah. So yeah, be sure to, let your friends know if they're interested in something like this, and maybe they'll like it, maybe they don't. I know it's not going to be for everybody, but and let them know that Armalite sent you. So but all right, boys, I'm going to shut her down, and until next time, I'll see you guys.
Dude.
All right. Now it's just me and you. So tonight was great. It was a lot of fun. And if you want to be a part of this in the same kind of way, basically all you would have to do is just join the Discord, chat it up, get to know everybody. And at the same time, once you get to a certain level, obviously, in the ranking system, you'll be able to start doing the call-ins. A lot of these guys I know, so they've either been on my show before, or I've either played Destiny with them before. So if you're brand new, and so just to make it kind of fair somewhat, depending on who you ask, but yeah. So till next time, Guardians, y'all stay classy.